Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at INJECTIVE Protocol. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so before we jump into that lower degree count, what we are looking for is we have two options here. So from our bullish count, we are saying that we have a low here, and what we are looking for is extension to the upside. Now this can be playing out in two ways. The way that we are looking at it is that this move could potentially be forming something like this, where we actually have this as a 1-2. This is another 1-2 here, and effectively what we are looking for is a much bigger third wave to the upside, which would be looking to push up much higher towards this $46 area. So it is potentially possible that we could still see this, provided that we continue to hold our lows here. This low here of this $5.38 would be our current invalidation point if we're looking for a direct push to the upside. Now the other way that we're also discussing this move is that we could also have this as an extension in the wave 1. So if this is actually an extension in the wave 1, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and what we're looking for is a fifth wave. Now common target area for this as a fifth wave would actually be here towards this $10.57 to this $13.03. We also have this 0.382 of our wave 1 to 3 sitting here towards this 12.36. So going to be keeping an eye on this level, though we need to just be cautious because the internals are saying that this might not quite reach these target levels. Now what we'd be looking for here effectively is with this count, once we complete this 5-wave move, we'd be looking for a deeper break to the downside. Now what I'd be looking for would be at least a retracement to this $4.47 here, but technically speaking the retracement level could be all the way down here towards this 193. So this is for our bullish count here, and what we'd be saying then is that we're looking for this as A, B, and then either a C wave or a third wave to the upside if we're looking for that continuation. So we're going to come in here and discuss this move, looking at it in the bullish way, and then we will discuss the bearish options as well. So now within this structure here, what we would then be saying is that we're looking for this as either a fifth wave here in this count or a wave 1. Now the internals of this would be much the same. What I'm looking for here is that within the structure I would be counting this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up into this high here. This would actually be over here. Now if we are looking at this in this way, effectively what we'd be looking for would be an additional fourth wave to hold here. Now I don't want to see this get any bigger than it already has, so effectively what I would want to see here, if this is the case, is a push to the upside, looking for this fifth wave target area here of this 1077 to this 1024. Now given the current structure here, it is possible that we could potentially look to fall short on this, because if we are looking at this potentially as 1-2 here, this is third and fourth. Effectively what we'd be looking for as a fifth wave target currently, or for the current structure we have, would be up here towards this 931 to this 980. So if we see something like this, 1, 2, 3, get a fourth wave here and a fifth wave, this could potentially mark the completion of this move. However, there is also potential within the structure it could still be looking to extend out, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If we do see this push up a little bit higher here, this is going to be the target zone we are looking for. Now if we do see a 5-wave move in this way, what I would then be looking for would be the potential to find support again here if we are looking at that more bullish count, where this is going to become another 1-2. So what we could then see after the completion of this is the potential that we come back down for a 3-wave structure and then look for that continuation to the upside. Now the area we'd be looking for here would be this 7509 to this 621. So if we do see price come back down here in 3 waves, I will be keeping an eye on this higher area here as a potential support zone if we do look to come back into some of these highs. Alternatively, if we do look to come back down here and retest some of these lower levels, this golden pocket here towards us 694 could be quite an interesting zone. If we are looking to push down lower, the 786 would be here at this 621. Now the key thing within this count is invalidation of continuation would actually come by crossing this 538. So if we cross this line, effectively this move cannot look to complete a bigger 5-wave move to the upside from this area, and what it would mean is that rather it is more likely that that second count is playing out where this is actually a 4th wave, 5th wave, and then we're going to see a bigger retracement to the downside. So this is going to be our key level here if we're looking for this continuation to the upside directly for that bigger 3rd wave, though we need to just be aware that there is still a bearish count here. So we're going to go over that bearish count right now, and what we'd be looking for within this effectively would be saying that what we have is this is an A wave here, and this whole move to the upside is a corrector structure. So we'd be looking at this as a ABC for a W. This is an X wave here, And what we'd be looking for is a Y wave. Now this Y wave could technically be completed already because we have come up here into this 1-to-1, which is 943. Now if we do complete into this high, this could already be starting our next corrective drop to the downside. So going to be keeping an eye on the idea that this could be a corrective structure. We're going to go into the internals of that, but if we do see this move up one more time here, with this could still align with the idea here that this is looking to either extend up one more time here as a 5-wave move, or alternatively we could still be within a B wave here. So the way that we would be looking at it in this way effectively would be like this. So we'd be saying this would be W, this would be X, and what we could still have here is the possibility that this is just an A wave. So if we do see this move either push to the upside here or the C wave towards this $18 directly, or alternatively we see a corrective move here and then a push to the upside, this would still align with being in this WXY. If we start to move above 21.92, this would invalidate the idea. Now if we did see something along these lines where we push up into that zone, this would align with coming back higher here into this 854 area. So going to be keeping an eye on this level 16068, which also bring us back above some of these key highs that we've got. So going to be keeping an eye on that. If we do see price push up here, this could still align with the idea of having a bigger ABC pattern to the downside. So we need to just be cautious of this idea. Now if this is looking for this C wave to the upside, what we want to see is this develop as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, looking for that potential of a direct push up. So that would be the same idea as looking at that as an impulse. So this is why we need to be careful here, because this could still be a corrective structure. Now if we are looking at this as not being completed, so this B wave is not completed, what we could also argue is that what we just have here is this is A, B and C to the upside, and what we could have is a bigger flat correction forming here, where this becomes our A wave, this becomes our B wave, and we see a C wave to the downside. Now the typical rejection area for this as a B wave would actually be here towards this 997 to this 12441. So if we do see price push up a little bit higher here and we look to sweep this high, what we could then see off of the back of this is the possibility that this could all just be a bigger ABC, and we could be looking for this lower target here of this 484 to this 388. Now this would align with actually coming back down into this lower B wave support zone, which would be here towards this 50%, which would be quite common for a flat correction at this area of this 494. So if we do see price move into this zone, possibly we could just see this as a bigger corrective move. So the key thing here is what we'd be looking for to happen if this is actually going to be a flat in this way would be that we want to see price develop 5-wave structure to the downside. So common area for an expanding flat would be this 484 to this 388, but if we do see a 5-wave move to the downside, we need to keep an eye on this 1-to-1, which is sitting at this 5555, which would align with coming back into these lows. So that could actually be a running flat if we see something like that. So going to be keeping an eye on that level as well if we do see price start to break down in 5 waves here. If we see a 5-wave move down here and a pushback above this level, this will confirm the idea of this being a flat. Until we actually break back above this high though, we'd have to still be careful, because if we get 5 waves down, this could always look to extend to the downside. Having a look at the daily CPR lines here, what we can see is that we have had a bit of a break from this level. We found support on our central lines, and we've actually moved up already here towards this R4 line. So because we've already hit this, we need to just be cautious that price could actually start to come back to the downside here. Potential targets would be these central lines again, the $9.03 to this 898 region. Now if we do see price come back down here in 3 waves, we can potentially look for that idea of continuation to the upside. However, if we start to lose these central lines here, possibly what we could see as a retest to some of these lower levels. So targets for today would be this 879, we have this 863, and we have this 843 lower down here, as well as this 827 as potential targets for today. So this would align with actually seeing price come back down into some of these lower zones. Now if we are going to change this over and have a look at the weekly now, what we can see is that we are currently above this central CPR line. Now this is very tightly spread, which is actually indicating a bullish bias at the moment. Now we do still have targets to the upside here, currently sitting towards this 994. So if we do see price continue to push up here, we'll be keeping an eye on this level of this 994 as a potential zone we could look to retest. If, however, we do start to break down after this, what we could see is a retest of these central lines at this 884. Or alternatively, we could start to break down and test some of these lower levels. Possible targets for this week would be this 787. We have this 670 and this level here of this 563. Though at the moment, the CPR lines are actually printing to the upside. This can be a bullish sign. Now, other targets to the upside that we have is this level here of this 1109, this 1209, as well as potential targets for this week. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this to see if we do start to break to the upside. These could be potential zones we see an interaction with. Now, having a look at the monthly CPR lines, what we can see is that we have actually moved away from these. We've already hit this R1 line here at this 902. We do have this potential target just above this high here, which would be interesting at this $10. So that's also going to be a psychological level. So if we do see price move up here, would be very interesting to see how we react. Above this, for this month, we still have this target open at this 1185. What we could see is if we do see extension here, possibly a move up into some of these zones. Now, what I'll be looking out for here for this month is if we do see a move up here and we come back down and we lose this higher CPR line, what we could actually see is price could get gravitated back down towards these central lines here, and we could look to find support on these at this 761, 678, and the 720 as possible support zones to come back into if we move down. If we do, however, lose these throughout the month, possible targets would be this 621. We have this 437 and this lower target here of this 336. So these would align with actually seeing price have that bigger retracement if this is just a fifth wave and then we start to break down in a bigger way. So we're going to be keeping an eye on these levels as we move towards them. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below. And also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.